Hey guys, it's Katie here with Life the Mundane. Welcome back to my channel. I'm really excited to bring you guys the third and final video in our series on some of our favorite games. We've already done a video on our favorite games for preschoolers and toddlers. I'll link that up above and down in the description below. And we've done a video on some of the games that we really love for struggling learners, struggling readers in particular, that require little to no reading, that are geared towards older kids who are ready for sort of that next level of gaming. So today, our last video in this series is going to be all about our 5 favorite games for playing as a family. And we have a big range of all the way from 1 year old to 10 years old as far as kids. So we have 6 kids in there, and then obviously mom and dad who don't want to be bored with what we're playing. So we're going to show you some of the games we like. Some of them are more appropriate for the younger ones, and some are, targeted to a little bit more to the older ones, but we're actually all able to play as a family on every single one of these to some extent or another. So let's get started. Well, before we jump into these awesome games, I do want to say that if you are new to this channel, I would love if you would take a quick second to subscribe, especially if you're interested in content like videos on homeschooling, home management, parenting, things like that. Then you are in the right place, and you're going to want to hit subscribe and click the little bell notification down below to be notified when new videos come out. So when we're talking about our favorite games, like I said, all of these can be played with everyone in our family, but some require more help or assistance than others, especially for the 1 year old. In general, she will either play, on a team and play, or she'll be playing in the room with us. But our 2-year-old and up can be actually engaged in these games, which is kind of fun. So let's get started with pick number 1. Pick number 1 is really special to me because I actually know the creators of this, and it's got such a cool story. So this is Oopsie Poopsie. Now, I have a special box because I actually purchased one of the first 100 boxes that were ever made, but it actually now comes in a very nice packaging. It's really pretty. You should definitely check it out. So mine might look a little bit different than yours, but the gameplay is the same. And the story behind this is it was a homeschool mom who was teaching her daughter, age 6, who was a homeschool mom who was teaching her daughter, who is only 6 years old, by the way, or who was at this point in time, was teaching her about history and about a child who had created this game. And I think it was in Egypt, if I remember right. But basically, she was like, well, if they created a game, why can't I? So that night, her and her dad sat down and they made this game. And while I say her dad helped her, he helped her in the sense with some of the logistics, but in general, this game is 100% created by Chloe, who is the little girl who did it. And so I got an autograph box, which I love. I will drop links down below where you guys can get a copy of Oopsie Poopsie. But in a nutshell, you've got these fun game cards that were all drawn and designed by Chloe. So they've got that fun childlike feature to it. And the game is really fun. So there are 4 different collars that are different shapes and colors, and 4 different puppies that match. So you are trying to find the matching collar to the matching puppy, but it's not as simple as that because there are little kinks throughout. There's maybe a squirrel that a puppy's gonna chase, or someone can steal your puppy by coaxing it over to their yard with a bone. Things like that. So there's all sorts of fun obstacles in the way. But the truth is that while it might take a tiny bit of explaining up front, it is actually really easy for little kids to play, but super interesting and fun. There's actually a decent amount of strategy involved for older kids. So I definitely recommend this one. It also doesn't require a ton of reading either. There is reading, but they don't need to read that that's a collar because they can clearly see that that's a collar, if that makes sense. But that is one that has definitely become a family favorite. We bought it originally to help support a friend and to give my kids the inspiration to aspire to the things that they have in their imagination that they can do. So I bought it originally for that, and then fell in love with the game, and we love to play it regularly. The next one was kind of an accidental find, and that is Noodles and Knots. This game was marked down on clearance, I think at Dillon's even, of all places, which is a Kroger-based store. It was marked down, and I purchased it because it was like $2 or $3, and I didn't know much about it, but the age range was right for my daughter, and so we got it for her birthday, and it has been a really fun, just silly, simple game. It's very short gameplay, so you can either play a lot of rounds of it, or if your kids are wanting a game night on a busy night, it's a quick thing to pull out and be able to do a little bit of something without full-blown getting into an hour-and-a-half Monopoly game. So essentially what you have within this game is you have your noodles, which are actually just little wrist bracelets that also connect together, okay? And the idea is that everyone's gonna be wearing one on either wrist, and they're all gonna be connected, and you're gonna be in a giant circle. Then somebody else who is not playing, who is not connected, is going to be the person that draws the cards. They're going to pick a person, draw a card, and say, okay, Daddy, you have to touch Mommy's head. So he has to take one of his hands and touch my head. But he has to do that without breaking our connection and without our little noodles falling apart and separating from each other. It's actually really fun, kind of some of the fun challenge of Twister, but really, really different at the same time. There's not as much left and right involved, although you definitely could do that. There's touch your belly, there's touch your toe, and you can get in all these really funny positions, and it's just really fun and interesting for the kids to play. They love doing it. It's full of lots of laughs, and definitely a good one when you want a short game. Now for the Noodle and Knots game, that is one that my 2-year-old has participated in, but it does require a certain level of hand-eye coordination. So just for full disclosure, we typically have her help us draw and name who has to do what in the game. She thinks it's awesome because she gets to be the boss, and it's a great way for her to be involved. So some of these, while they may not be geared towards every age range, there are ways to plug in every age range in some extent. So you just have to get creative a little bit. The next one that is really fun is Zingo. It is bingo, but it's all pictures. They do have the words printed on it, but it is all pictures. So again, don't have to be able to read before being able to play this. And it has a little machine that shoots out tiles or puts out tiles for you. And whoever calls out that tile first, so let's say it's a dog and a son, and they yell, "Dog!" and they're the first ones to yell it out, then they get that tile and they can use that dog tile to cover their dog tile on their bingo card. There is a hard side and an easy side, and honestly, when we first got this, I thought it was gonna be only geared towards the little kids. Like, it is a great game that little ones can play. It says ages 4 to 8, but it actually was really fun and got very competitive. So I think there's a sense of being able to make anything fun when you're really willing to just be there and be present with your kids. This is done by the Think Fun company, so if you guys saw my preschool video, that cube dice game that you toss, same company, awesome brand. I love their stuff. The next one is probably not as well known, but it is called Beard Ball. Again, clearance find at Target, got it for like $5, and like most requested game that my kids asked for is Beard Ball. This game, interestingly enough, is actually recommended for ages 14 and up. Not because of adult content, but because some of the tricks that they're asking you to do are a little bit trickier. But my kids love this game so much and they find it so hilarious. We've just adapted the game to work for us. So I'm gonna show you a little bit about how you play the game and then also how we adapt it. So first of all, you have 3 different kinds of beards, and I'll show you what they look like here in a second. And so you're going to have cards that go, you're gonna put a card on each type of beard, and you don't know what that card says. So these cards are gonna stick there, one on each. And you're gonna match up in pairs. So we like to do an older child and a younger child. They're going to roll the die, and it's going to be different kinds of beards on there. Whatever beard it lands on, that child has to put on. So it comes with these Velcro beards, and it comes with a pair of glasses that you can slide them onto. Isn't that attractive? But also, if you have glasses like I do, you can actually just slide it on and off onto your actual glasses, which is helpful because I can't see a thing through these glasses. But basically, you've got all these different kinds of beards. So one person is going to put on the beard, the other person has to throw the balls. These are balls with Velcro on it, and they're very soft, so they won't hurt anybody. But whatever dice they roll, one person's going to put on the beard, the next person's going to look at the card that is on that beard slot. So like this one says, hit the deck. Let me show you. This one says, hit the deck. So one person's gonna have to sit down, and the other person is going to have to stand above them and bounce the ball off the floor onto their beard. They have to stand back 3 paces, and it explains all of that in details. It tells you how many tries you get, and it tells you how many points you're gonna get if you can do this trick correctly. So one of the ways that we adapt it is it'll say you have 3 tries, which what they mean by that, as far as I understand, is that you get 3 balls, and so you get to try doing that. And sometimes it'll be that you have to get all the balls on there to get the points. Sometimes you get a point per ball, that kind of thing. So you can definitely do it that way. But one of the ways we do it is it actually comes with like 5 balls. So we let the kids have like 1 or 2 turns with all 5 balls. So you can adapt it and adjust, but the kids think it's hilarious and it is so much fun. One of them was to put on the beard and run across the room while the other person pelts the ball at you and trying to get it stuck to your beard. Super fun, lots of laughs. Are they able to do all of the different cards, the ability to do it? No, but it is still really, really fun, and they have had a blast trying and learning, and you'd be surprised how much they've been able to do. The last one has become more popular, at least more recently. I've heard more people talk about it, but in case you don't know about it, it's Telestration. This one is a fun one. They probably need to be at the age to be able to write, at least to some extent, to play this game correctly, but it can be a lot of fun even with the misspellings of little younger kids. And again, we can always team up in pairs if we need to do an older and a younger kid to do it effectively. But the idea here is sort of like a telephone meets Pictionary kind of feel to it. So each person gets one of these handy dandy notebooks, and they're going to put their name on it, and they're going to pick a card, and they can roll a die. And so let's say it's 6. They can look on here and say, okay, number 6 says bee sting, or number 6 over here says iguana. Your choice. So they can choose which picture they want to do, and they're going to draw that picture, whatever it is. They're going to do their very best. Then they're going to pass it to the next person with a blank page, and that person's going to look at the picture, see what the other person drew, and write down what they think they drew. Then they're going to pass it on to the next person. The next person can only look at the written word, and then they're going to draw a picture of what they read, and so on and so forth until it gets to the very end. Then at the very end, everyone gets to read out all of the funny, you see the progression. Sometimes it stays on point and people keep it going. Other times, most times, I would say, especially when you're playing with kids, it ends up getting way, 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 way off topic. And, you end up with, a pirate, a carrot pirate when it was actually supposed to be a torpedo or something like that. The fun thing about this is there's not really necessarily a sense of scorekeeping. It's just for fun, so it works really well to buddy up or whatnot. This is technically geared towards 12 and older, but again, we have played it much younger than that and still had a lot of fun. So I hope this video has been helpful for you guys. We really try as a family to prioritize family game night. It's a big deal to my kids, to my husband, and just to our family culture. So that is something that we do big time. So if you guys have other family games that you love to play that are great for a wide range of ages, drop them down in the comments because we are always looking for new games. If this video has been helpful to you guys, please give it a thumbs up and a comment if you can. I know YouTube's changing a few of its rules, so you may or may not, but if you can, please leave a comment and share it if it's been helpful. This can help you get those last minute Christmas gift ideas that you need to grab, and will make a great group gift or a gift to a grandchild or a niece or nephew. And I hope you guys have a great day. Bye!